kind of movie you gonna make about Willie?
It's not a movie. It's a documentary.
Well, what do you want us to say?
Just tell me the truth about Willie.
Well, now, Willie was what you might call the alpha male of our group.
How do you mean?
It's like, if we were dogs, he'd be the big dog.
Yeah, I mean, Willie carried us all over the state hunting wild turkey,
Dove,
deer,
pheasant,
boar,
squirrels,
quail.
all kinds of fish.
Yeah, ducks,
Frogs,
many frogs. And crawdads, too.
and possum.
Yeah. Opossum.
So Willie was a good hunter.
Oh, yeah. He's a killer.
Killer diller.
Get out of here. Jimmy!
Is this going to be on the national news?
Is there anything else you know about some of the...
Well, we're all very sad, of course.
Living in this godforsaken place, everything exploded in my face. Lord, don't let me die in Texas, please. They got JFK, but they won't get me. Pack my bags and get the truck. I think I wanna go back home. Texas night, yeah.
You know, I don't think the newspaper people feel like the cops are doing all they can about this serial killer.
Well, geez, you think nothing like this had ever happened to White Hills before? I mean, it's all people can talk about, you know?
Marie, this is the first time something like this has happened in White Hills. You're gonna put this pissant little town on the map.
Well, why don't the newspapers ever talk about anything good, like puppies or something?
People need a little blood to wash their bacon and eggs down.
Oh, you're gross.
I'm right.
You know, you could be next, smart guy.
Oh, I doubt that very seriously.
No, we could be next. Think about it. We fit the profile. Young, college students, smart, well-groomed. I mean, don't you ever think about it? Doesn't it bother you at all, Glenn?
Oh, whoop his ass. He tried to take me.
Yeah. Hey, I talked to Mom and Dad today. They wanted to know if we had set a definite date. I mean, come on, Glenn. You know they don't like us living together without being married. And since that's what both of us want anyways. I don't know. I'm just getting so sick and tired of all their nagging, you know?
That makes two of us. Hey, it says there's a full moon tomorrow night.
That's great.
Man, this guy has got everybody running scared.
Who?
The killer, Marie, the killer.
Tell me something about Willie's childhood.
Well, I don't know if it'll tell you something, but there is this one story. One time, Willie's mama had to have her canine teeth pulled
Too
out.
many moon pies.
Yeah. So she comes home, she falls dead asleep on the sofa just outside the trailer.
With the neighbor's pit bull, he was off his chain.
Yeah. And I guess Willie must have been about 4 at the time, and he comes outside to try and wake her
I
up.
think that dog could smell the ether on Willie's mama.
And I mean, the minute he touched her, she woke up and just smacked the shit out of him.
I mean, that dog was just waiting. He's like, ha, 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 ha.
And I mean, she broke his jaw, must have knocked out most of his baby teeth.
Tell him what the dog did then, Farrell.
You don't even know the story, do you?
Nope.
That's because there is no dog in the story, Jimmy.
Billy, quit covering your titties and play ball!
I understand Willie was in one of your classes.
Well, yeah, I had him in my PE and Biology 2 class. A dumb son of a bitch. But he did take to dissecting animals, especially the cat.
Okay, but did it surprise you to find out he was a serial killer?
No, I even thought the kid was queer.
Looks like the killer got interrupted.
Now, did you figure that out from the way his head's not sawed off?
You think this nut is on some kind of lunar cycle?
What the hell does that mean?
You know, like the moon.
The moon wasn't even out last night.
Was it a full moon?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You guys have got to stop reading the goddamn newspapers. It's filling your head with bullshit.
I stopped reading them years ago.
I just like to keep up with stuff.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't read the newspapers, I don't listen to radio, and I just about got where I don't even watch the goddamn TV.
Well, how you gonna know what's going on in the world?
And keep your goddamn eyes open. Besides, what the fuck do I care what happens as long as it don't happen to me? It's just not natural to care too much about other people. Let me give you some advice, Alex. The more you can cut things off outside your front door, the happier you'll be.
My wife reads the papers, and she says they printed we're incompetent.
Ah, fuck 'em.
My son thinks it means I can't have sex anymore.
Speaking of funny, I think
Things are getting out of hand.
do you mind telling me who the fuck you are?
Special Agent Louis DeHoven, FBI.
Is that right?
The great monster hunter?
That is correct. And you must be Detective Richards.
That is correct. And what do you fucking mean things are getting out of hand? We're doing just fine around here.
90% of everything I say will be about the killer. For instance, if I say, he seems to be losing all sense of direction, acting entirely on impulse, not thinking through his actions clearly, then I'm talking about the killer, not you. Things are getting out of hand for the killer. He is progressively losing control. becoming more and more vicious with each murder.
So, he's the worst of the worst?
Not exactly, but his failure to choose victims for sexual reasons is somewhat disconcerting. He kills simply to kill. In the world of serial killers, that makes him something of a rarity and very difficult to catch. It's nothing short of pure evil.
So, he's the worst of the worst.
Yes. Have you ever thought of joining the FBI?
Ha! Yeah, he's a real fucking genius.
You needn't worry about me taking over the case. I'm here unofficially. I simply want to help as much as I can. I'll need to see files on these cases as soon as possible, and I will expect complete and full cooperation. And now, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I must be going. The sun is setting.
Well, next time, show a fucking badge or something. FB fucking I.
Someone who says he's determined not to take over the case. Sounds like that's just what he's done.
I can't believe the great monster hunter come all the way down to our little town.
Now, how the fuck do you know who he is?
Well, I keep up with things.
Sure you do.
He's a lot shorter than I thought he'd be.
Yeah, and I hear he's balls out fucking crazy.
Mr. Crenshaw. Mr. Crenshaw. How long have you...
Yeah, my daddy built this house when he was working in the oil fields. I watched it grow up from nothing. Now, we got to move somewhere where Jesus knows, you know, what kind of people were killed and where. I mean, hell, there's no telling what's been in the closets there and the bathtubs, the home appliances. Jesus. I know it was goddamn killed in this house. My son was. I mean, well, hell, we can't even stay in Texas, can we? Got to move to Indiana. Jesus. No telling what kind of depraved business goes up on the houses there, you know?
So you were on vacation or something when this occurred?
Huh?
Oh,
We was in Houston when it happened. There's a circus there, and, you know, I thought I'd take Adele down, see the monkeys. There weren't no monkeys, though. What kind of circus don't got no monkeys, huh?
Well, how did you know Willie?
Willie'd come in every morning before he went to work and buy himself a soda water. That is until last June when we started carrying that red slash. He opened his first bottle of red slash right there at the counter. He even took a long pull off of it before he ever even paid for it. After that first drink, he says to me, "That's good." That's the most he ever said to me. He drank red slash all the rest of the time he came in. If you really want to know, I think he liked the stuff because it looked like blood.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. These things happen.
Oh my God, sir, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure? I mean, do they need to go see a doctor or something?
No, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Jesus, Marie, the guy says he's fine, so he's fine. You're gonna make the man crazy. Hey, dropped your wallet.
Thanks.
Okay, come on. Bye. We're really, really sorry, okay?
Ain't no thing but a chicken.
Now, what was the fucking question?
How do you think serial killers like Willie Dickinson pick their victims?
1 potato, 2 potato.
Yeah, but why do they kill?
Because they're crazy. They're crazy killers, and that's what they do. They fucking kill people.
Back when I was a kid, crazies like Willie had a place in society. They called them circus geeks. We locked them up in a cage, and they got to kill things and eat. People loved them, and by God, they were happy.
I love buffets.
Detective, you've been at this a long time. Any thoughts on what motivates a serial killer to kill so often and so violently?
Hell, I didn't have any idea if I met you guys.
Dorado. Panecillos de comal son color ámbar. También lo son los waffles y el pan tostado. Los huevos son amarillos.
Ya no escuché voces más y me encontré una casa sin vivir. Trabajé, trabajé en mi camión.
What happened?
Had an accident. Wait a minute.
Headache?
The newspaper said that people in the north live longer than people in the south.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I read it in the newspaper today.
You read that in the newspaper, huh? You sure you just didn't see it on the TV, Sally?
Willie, I read it in the newspaper.
Huh. What's the heat? Where'd you go today? You weren't home at 11. I called 3 times. You weren't here.
I just had some errands. Oh, and your mom called,
What errands? You out getting paint or something?
No, but your mom
Like
called.
yellow,
and,
maybe?
And she was thinking that maybe we would stop
Hey,
by
Sally,
this
where
weekend,
did
but
you
I was
go?
hoping
I'm just curious as all. Where did you go?
I went to the doctor.
What for? You okay? They didn't run a lot of tests, did they?
I'm pregnant.
Whoa! Yeah! Are you serious? Ah! That's great! Oh, I'm gonna be a daddy. Loner, baby. Hello, baby. Can you hear me, buddy?
Donor, not a donor, donor, not a donor, donor, not donor, not donor, not.
Yellow Mr. Dickinson.
I think there's been a great prejudice against serial killers. I could be a serial killer right now. You know how I would be a serial killer? If I picked up a knife and I killed you and everybody else in this room, boom, I'm a serial killer. And until I did the serial killing, I wasn't a serial killer. You know, they sometimes ask me, how is it that you have the ability really to deal with these serial killers and think and really be in the minds of the serial killers so much of the time, which is where I spend my life, in the minds of people who do absolutely terrible things to people, and yet I can't judge them. First of all, they might be innocent. Well, not usually. They're really not innocent. So they're calling me on the phone all the time, you know, look in your crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. I have instinct. I have instinct, and I'm exactly the same as you are, except I'm smarter, and I have greater insights.
Director Haltner, Louis DeHoven was a rogue agent, wasn't he?
I'm not sure I understand your meaning.
Well, I understand it wasn't an officially sanctioned investigation.
Agent DeHoven was a very unique individual. After a time, he was given a certain amount of freedom that other agents don't normally have simply because the man was undeniably gifted.
Gifted?
Yes. He sometimes worked in an unorthodox manner, but he produced results. He broke the White Hills case wide open.
And you personally don't believe that he was insane?
Good God, no.
Oh, God. This town stinks of death. Give me what I want. Let me gut the beast, that his blood may flood the streets. Mark these weapons, that they may wreak a terrible vengeance on mine, thine enemies. Strengthen me to do thy work. Oh, God.
I am Agent DeHoven.
Detective Richards ain't here yet.
Fine, fine. I have a great deal of work to do, and I'd like to get started immediately. Someone has desecrated the body. Solven miseris, obixit lorem enectus Dominus. Lente, lente, corrite tac, mi segui. you will know the peace of the dead.
So there isn't a shred of doubt in your mind regarding de Hoven's ethics or professionalism?
None whatsoever.
So people here single you out because of your appearance and opinions?
Everybody needs somebody to spit on, I guess. People don't like me because I'm in love with a serial killer. They think I'm a fiend, a bitch in black and a baby eater. I just wear my colors on the outside, that's all.
They don't understand you.
You see their reflection in me. You know, they try to pretend they don't look at traffic accidents, but I see them catching a glimpse, stealing little bits of death in the news and on TV. I live for death. This is my dress rehearsal.
So who do you hang out with around here?
The only person I can talk to around here is Colin.
You two talk a lot?
Yeah, that's all we do. Colin's got some purity issues.
Like what?
Like no sex, no mayonnaise.
He won't have sex with you.
He says I look like his Uncle Fester. I don't know, I've never met him.
You and Colin look alike.
Yeah, he thinks he looks like Trent Reznor and I look like his Uncle Fester. What can I say? It's a double standard.
So Cassandra, what do you feel about Willie?
I wish I was with him right now. I want to have his child.
I'm gonna get my trains up and running again. For the baby. I could set up a table in your gallery room, if you don't mind. Maybe it'll give you some inspiration. Hey, maybe you could paint some train pictures. That'd be good.
Yeah, I think a train room sounds real nice.
Yeah, you could paint some trains, you know, hang up the pictures in the baby's room. I mean, face it, Sally, you got talent. Now you could use it for some really cool pictures. You know, by the time the baby's born, I think that, you know, I can be almost finished with the town. I figure it won't kill us to buy maybe 2-3 buildings a month, maybe some trees.
And I've been thinking about hitting some garage sales, you know, like maybe getting some stuff for the baby, and maybe you could come and get some trains and things. And
yeah, see now, baby, you'd be doing something really important with your paintings. I think that's great.
maybe I could even go into town and get some new toys for the baby. And I had my eye on this mobile. They say that black and white is real good for a baby's development, so...
Black and white? No, hell, no. Hell, we'll give him all the colors that there are. Our kid's gonna have the best. We can read to him, you know, while he's still inside your tummy. You know, we'll read the classics like Moby Dick and Dracula. No, we can play music for him, 'cause they can hear that. Oh, yeah, and when we fight from now on, we should just whisper at each other. Or maybe even write everything down. I don't want him to be afraid. We're gonna have a baby, Sally.
Mrs. Dickinson, if you could for a moment, go back to some of your earliest memories. What was Willie like?
Oh, he was a masturbator.
What?
Yeah, Willie found his tallywhacker around the age of 8 and never let go. He was insane with that masturbation. It didn't matter where we were, the dentist office, in church, or at the dinner table. He just... Oh, it would make his father so mad.
Tell me, mama, what am I gonna do? I got enough love for two.
You'd best stop that, Willie. Your father will be home any second.
Jesus H. Christ! Why does he do that? Why?
I don't know, dear.
Get up, boy. Why can't you be more like your brother? Would you look at him? Just look at him! Jesus H. Christ!
Mind your father, Willie.
It ain't Willie, God almighty, it's Eddie!
What's he doing?
I don't know. Oh, God, dear God, I don't know, that's it. Stop the merry-go-round and let me get off.
Eddie, where did you put that army man?
Colin, you don't look too interested. Why did you come out here?
My mom makes me come out here. I think she's hoping it might fix me.
Well, Colin, is something wrong with you?
Sure. She hates me and doesn't understand me. Kind of like Willie's mom hated him and didn't understand him. I understand Willie.
Your mother believes that shooting guns is therapeutic?
She just says I need some decent hobbies.
What are your hobbies?
You want to see my Prince Albert?
Can we get a wide shot?
You crazy bastard!
You mind telling me what the fuck happened?
Somebody desecrated the body and knocked out me and the guard.
That's strange. Because the guard don't recall anybody showing up before you.
He was asleep. I woke him up.
What, a little peck on the cheek or something like that? Maybe the guy was just resting his eyes.
Maybe he was an idiot.
You know, it's kind of funny. We got a corpse with a stake in its fucking chest, with you being the monster hunter and all.
Please, detective. Surely you haven't been away from the city long enough to allow local superstition to influence your police work. Or long enough to overestimate the importance of circumstantial evidence.
No, but I've been here long enough to know when it's time to stop talking and get a rope instead.
I'd say that time came about 8 murders ago, wouldn't you? Now, I really don't have time for this petty game. So, if they're not too busy, I'd like to give your men a description of the suspect. And maybe they can catch him.
Rumor is that when DeHoven went up against a paper man, you know that freak down around Florida used to stuff his victims with paper from Big Chief tablets? Well, they say that that's when he really cracked. Crawled around that serial killer's head so long, some say he never entirely got out. Crazy fucking bastard. He's the craziest motherfucking cocksucker I ever seen in my whole fucking life.
What does it say?
You are presently in the company of assholes.
Okay, so tell me how you feel.
I'm having a whiskey and Coke.
Okay.
Have to. Jesus, just got finished packing up 18 boxes filled with monkey shit. She loves monkeys. All kinds. Stuffed animal monkeys, ceramic monkeys, monkey posters, gorillas, orangutans, don't matter. If it's monkey, we got it. We even got one of them, you know, howling monkey clocks. Worst goddamn noise you ever heard in your life. Every hour on now. But by God, it'll be in goddamn Indiana with us, I'll tell you what, because that's the way it works. We lose the house, keep the monkeys.
Okay, so, if I may, can you tell me how you
What
feel
is a hole?
about-
Just wait. Just let me ask you a question.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
What kind of person could do that to my son's body, huh? Oh, Jesus. Can't even afford good whiskey anymore. What happened to my boy was wrong. He was killed. And then his body, hanging there. Oh, Jesus. Now us and the monkey's gotta move. You pick that up!
I hate this. Oh, God. Why do you torment me like this? Why? I'm trying so hard. I know. I lied. Oh, God, I lied. I had to. Richards, he couldn't find Booster in the inbox. Ah! What? I can't hear you. Oh! Oh, not again. These lucky mollypops. These lucky mollypops. Evil to him who thinks evil. Oh, no. No. Lord, give me a high. Yes. Forgive me.
Oh, great. A little to the left. There you go. That's good. Smile.
Mr. Graham, how long had your son been married?
2 years. They were planning on having a baby.
I understand. It must be especially hard since they haven't been able to catch Willie. I mean, justice has yet to be served.
Oh, it has been. It has been hard. I think I would sleep better at night knowing that horrible man couldn't hurt another family like he hurt ours.
Mm-hmm. And how's your daughter-in-law these days?
Who?
Your daughter-in-law. How's she holding up?
Oh, I don't know.
So you haven't even spoken to her?
Well, Kurt has. But I just can't bring myself to talk to her. Too many bad memories.
Well, what made you sell your story to a nationally syndicated talk show?
Well, a producer called and wanted to talk to the families. You know, to let people know that serial killers really are as bad as they sound. And to, well, maybe stop all the publicity and the book and movie deals.
Tell me, did surprising Mrs. Dickinson on the show accomplish anything?
I'm not sure. We never got a chance to see our show on TV. Honestly, I was feeling a little bit queasy from all the wine and cheese I had in the limousine ride to the studio. And, well, the whole day is really kind of a blur. Aerosol cheese is no good without crackers.
And I'm sure you'll be doing many more of these kinds of shows.
Well, our agent's making some phone calls, but I think it would be better in the long run to stay out of the limelight for a while. See, when something like this happens to you, you just have to throw everything out the window you've ever learned about how to carry yourself and how to be gracious and how to treat other people. A celebrity must put her image above everything else. I don't have to like it to know that's the way it is.
Muy buenos días, están escuchando las noticias y el reporte de ZMIX, la número 1 Tejano.
Oh, how's Mama Bear doing this morning?
Real good. How's Papa Bear?
Found another body.
That is so awful.
One of the things that serial killers do to get caught, because they all do want to get caught, is to repeat certain patterns. I help show police what patterns the killer's repeating, like choosing particular times of day or types of victims.
Who said that?
Some stupid good-for-nothing shrink.
Why is it that I would concentrate my entire life and study on serial killers and crime? Because I love serial killers. Because how could I ever get into the mind of a serial killer unless I had serious affection? I mean, I can't pretend. I'm not a good pretender. I can't pretend to you. Ask me a question, I'll tell you anything. You can see, I'll tell you absolutely anything. I don't know how to edit myself. But what I really do is I try to penetrate his mind with simply my raw self. And that's what I use in my book, Serial Killer, The Myth and the Facts. I just use my raw self. I have no technique. I really don't know anything about what I'm supposed to do, and I so avoid learning anything because my book, Serial Killer, Myth and the Facts, is really kind of a survival guide. Just one small element, because really it's about life. Really it's about everything. It's about goodness and badness and how we could be. It's really about love. People want to read about love, and they won't always buy books and say love, love, love. You know, it's like a boring thing.
Oh, that's why I think Willie killed all those people. He was just insane with that masturbation.
So you're certain that your son was the serial killer?
What kind of silly question is that? Of course he killed those people.
Have you spoken to Willie since he fled?
You think my son's a fool? He knows they're watching me. Just hoping that he'll slip up and call or come by. I can hear the bugs on the phone. Now, I doubt I'll ever see my little Willie again.
Great breakfast, honey. You know, I think we're gonna make great parents. I've got so much to teach my little man or girl. Well, gotta put on the old uniform.
We wake up every morning, rush downstairs to the car, jump inside it with money. Our lives are shining like stars. The sun's like something that God sent. The air's as fresh as our clothes. We're going to the golden arches. Our lives are precious, they glow. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. 'Cause Daddy's a postman. Daddy's a postman. Daddy's a postman.
Why did the papers call the serial killer the postman?
Because Willie was a postman.
Yeah, but how is it that the media dubbed Willie the postman before anyone knew that he was a postman?
Well, there's that thing he did with the postage stamps. And then, there's that other thing.
Can I help you?
Good morning.
I said, can I help you? I said, can I help you?
No. I just saw a red-tailed hawk, known to the Indians as a spotted eagle, and I pulled over, but I lost him in the trees. Sort of an amateur ornithologist. It must be terrible to have to go to work on a day like this, but I guess we have to pay the bills, don't we? Isn't that right?
One of the first things Agent DeHoven did when he got into town was to interview the supervisor at the post office. He immediately found out that 4 of the victims were on Willie's route. Shouldn't your team have checked this out the second the pattern with the postage stamps was established?
Now let me tell you something. We didn't have the men or the time to move on this as quickly as we wanted to, postage stamps or no postage stamps. Now checking and interviewing the mailmen was coming up on our list right after the cable guys and the flower delivery faggots.
Men and time aside, there seems to have been a lack of inclination on your part to investigate the most obvious cross-section of the possible murderers.
Well, how do you account for that?
Well, I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Come on, Detective. Human heads were being found in people's mailboxes.
Anybody can open a fucking mailbox.
Tell you what the police ought to do, say once every 6 months. They ought to show up at all the mailmen's houses with warrants and search the premises completely. I guarantee you that a lot more of these missing person cases would get solved. I mean, come on. Mailmen know where you live. Think about it.
Willie Dickinson worked under you for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever notice any odd behavior or anything?
Most of them who work here are pretty odd.
Did you guys ever party together?
My goodness, no. I don't talk to anybody from here after work. Just go straight home and lock my doors.
Sorry, just dropped the box.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. 'Cause Daddy's a postman. Daddy's a postman. Daddy's a postman. Daddy's a postman. Yeah.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for William Dickinson. I found his driver's license.
Well, Willie's not home right now, but, I'm his wife, so...
Oh, well, that's fine. I can just leave it with you, I guess.
Thank you.
I found it in the park.
Great, thanks for bringing it by. I don't even think that Willie knew it was gone.
No problemo. Are you painting your house?
Well,
You're an artist, ain't you? I mean, unless you're painting your living room hot pink, I'm willing to bet you dabble in the artistic arts.
I'm not really very good or anything, so...
Nonsense. Have you gotten a chance to get by that new art gallery yet?
What gallery?
Downtown, where the old movie house used to be. Just opened up last week.
Wow, White Hills is sure growing up, huh?
Yeah, well. But anyway, the reason I was wondering is it's my girlfriend's birthday this weekend, and I really wanted to do something nice to her. So I was hoping you might be able to tell me if the paintings they're showing are abstract. I'm afraid something like that might just freak Marie out.
Do you know who the artist is?
Yeah, it's someone called the Reindeer Master.
No, I've never heard.
No.
You so much as look like you're gonna yell, honey. I'll cut your tongue out. Careful now, honey. You're gonna give yourself rug burns. The good old William Boyle jumped to all the wrong conclusions about what we did here today. Did you ever notice anything suspect about your next-door neighbors?
You mean, did I know Willie was hacking people to pieces?
Yeah.
Can't say I did. Never heard no hooting or hollering coming from their house, not even at the end. I didn't hear a thing. Of course, I'm kind of deaf. I'm 50% in this and half in other. I don't like hearing aids either. They throw off my equilibrium, make me walk into walls, you know.
This forgetting of birthday themes is so prevalent in serial killers, but it's especially prevalent in Willie, who is living out his life, mailing heads of people with postage stamps on their head to his mother because he forgot her birthday once. I'm sure, I don't really know this, but this could be true. I've just entered the mind of a serial killer, and you know what? I thought I'd be sad, I thought I'd be happy, I thought I'd be dramatic. I'm so relaxed right now. Serial killers don't kill people in their mind. Mostly. Willie didn't. Willie's, he didn't. Anyways, very important. Serial killers' mothers. That's a headline. That's a topic. That's a chapter. Correct. That's not a reference. That's not a little sentence or a word or something like that. You were serial killers' moms. I would venture to say that if you didn't have mothers in this world, you wouldn't have serial killers.
I was a perfect mother to that boy. I tried to create an atmosphere where me and Willie could joke around with each other. Oh, I remember one time we were on a family vacation in the Grand Canyon. You know, Willie was about 7. And we were standing right on the edge of the cliff, looking down. You know, I don't know, I just grabbed him by the shoulders real quick and shoved him out there and brought him right back. He was so scared. He just peed all over himself. and then I was laughing so hard I peed myself too.
Yeah, Willie's mama was no good.
That's what our mama always says.
You know, it surprises me he didn't kill his own mama.
Surprises me that a lot of folks never kill Willie's mama.
Yeah.
Ain't no thing but a chicken.
See, now all humans are natural killers and carnivores. Now, I've also heard we're naturally inclined to be cannibals.
Ain't that in the Bible? I believe that's in the Bible.
See, now, push come to shove, any man can take a human life.
But where's the fun in that?
And where's the trophy?
I reckon they couldn't stuff a human head.
Dr. Powell, why in the world would Willie kill his wife and unborn child?
I have absolutely no idea. And that's where I begin. I'll do it for you right now. You think that Willie killed... I'm Willie now. This isn't exactly my voice. I'm not really Willie, but I'm pretending to be Willie. I'm killing my wife and my child. For the most mundane reason I can imagine. But I can't think of what it would be.
Hey!
I stab at thee!
You know, the more I think about it, the more convinced I am that White Hills had two psychos running around. Willie and that fruit D-Hover.
World's getting stuffed full of people. And we ain't necessarily producing the best and the brightest, if you know what I mean. The more apples you cram into the basket, the more rotten ones you're going to end up with.
Yeah, I would say that's the thing about serial killers. They're so loony, serial killers, that anything that you can think about a serial killer could be true. He scratched his nose, he cut somebody's head off. Maybe Willie was vicious at that moment. But maybe he didn't know he was being vicious, and maybe he thought he was scratching the neck of an animal that bit him once, and he got a little carried away because it was hostile. But all he thought he was doing was tightening the leash on some chihuahua that bit him once. Willie hears the phone ring. He goes to answer the phone. He has a knife in his hand, and he cuts off their necks. That's the terrible thing about serial killers. If they knew what they were doing, would they do it?
Well, if it ain't real, it's a hell of a fake. But Jesus, you know, I don't think I've seen a real FBI ID before. Except maybe at the beginning of X-Files. You ever watch that? Pretty scary sometimes. Now, I really want to take those nasty socks out of your mouth. Before I do, you've got to do me a favor and not scream. Please don't do that. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. All things considered, I don't think that's too much to ask. Now, if you start screaming, well, anyway, it's just not a good idea for you to start screaming. And realistically, how many people do you think are going to pay attention to a short outburst at 11 o'clock in the morning? A man's voice at that? Not many, I'm betting. Could be wrong. It's your call. You know what you're going to do? Good choice. Now, who are you?
A messenger from God.
Yeah? FBI hires a lot of servants of God, do they?
You have my identification.
Well, the FBI doesn't usually attack people with wooden stakes. So excuse me if I'm a little leery of your identification. But if you are a real FBI man, then why did you attack me?
You know why.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Don't lie.
Do me a favor and ask yourself a question. What kind of man ties another man to a chair and then lies about himself to try and save face? Huh? I want to know why you came after me.
You are the monster who is killing the people in White Hills.
What?
You're the postman. God told me who you are.
You and God haven't told anybody else, have you?
Everybody knows.
I think you're lying now.
You'll see. Just step out that door. It's only a matter of time before they catch you now. Why don't you let me go? I can make it easier for you.
And it's not like you think. It's not the way people think it is. I'm not a monster. I can't help it.
I know. You had a horrible mother.
Well,
You pissed your sheets every week. There's still the occasional accident. You have feelings of alienation. You alternate between insane rages, suicidal depression. You keep to yourself. People will be surprised that you're the killer. You're also a homosexual.
now you listen, you little freak. Fag.
Sometimes at night, you scream out, waking up from horrible dreams.
My dreams are like everybody else's.
You're surrounded by monsters. The evil creeps into your guts, eating away at your viscera.
I'm not a monster.
You fight hell. You fight the demons. You fight monsters. I know what you are. Beast. You can crack my shell, but you can't have my soul.
I don't care about your soul.
Lean in close to me.
I don't care about you.
Lean in close to my face.
I don't care about the world.
I want to chew your eyes out.
I don't care.
Oh no, rip your face off. Tear you apart.
You know what? This is just one of our stops. See, we hit all the death houses, going in order of the killings, and ended up at Willie's house. We also stopped at Pappy's and Agent DeHoven's motel room. It's an all-day tour.
Okay, now when the tour is over, do people really feel like they've gotten their 25 bucks worth?
Yeah, buddy! When we get to Eddie's house, we give him tuna fish sandwiches and cake. We give him a nice little booklet that goes into detail about all what happened, you know, full of photographs. And then, at the end, there's a really good scare. We have an impersonator jump out dressed like Willie, and he stabs me with a fake knife, man. People just freak out!
And these homeowners let you guys inside?
Not all, but two do. And then there's another 2 houses that have new owners. They let us in smiling ear to ear. They get a nice percentage of the profits.
And you have a lot of business?
Non-stop. Booked solid through May. Okay, folks, we're walking now. We're walking. Now, this next death house is neither for the weak of heart nor the faint of stomach. Y'all are in for a real treat.
My son-in-law tells me this store is like a pilgrimage for the crazies. God damn, they come in and they lollygag around till I have to get short with them. Then almost every single damn one of them goes over and buys a red slash. And they always pay us change, dirty change. Coin's just lousy with dirt. Dirty, fuzzy, filthy, nasty, hairy change. A lot of fucking Canadian pennies, too. Can I say fucking?
Hello? Hello?
People love to point their fingers at one another after something like this. It was his mama or his papa. And the crazy son of a bitch watched cartoons for 4 days straight, and that set him off. Skin magazines messed up his head. Well, maybe it was his mammy.
Was Willie's brother, Eddie, also a masturbator?
Now that boy was weird. But if he played with himself, he was always very sly about it. I never caught him going at it, though. Eddie did have a problem with sticking things up his ass, though.
I'm sorry. What?
Toy cars, erasers, sunflower seeds. You name it. It's been up Eddie's ass.
Before the press conference that was held in which you announced to the world that William Dickinson was wanted for the Postman killings, you tried to question Willie's younger brother, Eddie. What went wrong?
Sort of like what he's done with the place. Neighbors must love Eddie.
You think they realize he's Willie's brother?
Probably not. Now be sharp. In case this guy's a fruit basket too, okay?
What is it?
Are you Willie Dickinson's brother?
Yep.
Well, we'd like to come in and ask you a few questions. Good-looking place you got here.
I know how it looks and I know how I live.
Why do you want to live like this?
Because I simply don't care about living.
Is that right? So, when's the last time you saw Willie?
Well, it's been years. The wedding, I think. Yeah, his wedding. I remember it because it was before my first suicide attempt.
Sorry if that didn't work out for you. So, Willie hadn't been around here since he disappeared, huh?
I said he hasn't.
And you wouldn't happen to have any dead bodies laying around here, would you?
Nope.
So, you wouldn't mind then if we had a look around, would you?
Why, no. Would either of you gentlemen care for some tuna surprise?
No thanks, Eddie.
Oh, have a bite! Oh, and some for you!
It never would have crossed my mind that a skillet could kill a man. But sure as shit Earl was dead. And I wasn't feeling too good either. Let me smack you in the head with a metal pan. You'll know what I'm talking about. And that tuna shit was hotter than a motherfucker. Yeah, we didn't find a single goddamn thing in Eddie's house. Not a gun, not a body, not even a fucking pinky finger. There was no pot, panties, or porn. Evidently, Eddie's only sins was that he lived in a shithole and he had a killer for an older brother.
What do you think made Eddie panic when the cops showed up?
He probably felt guilty.
Eddie only had a frying pan. Was it really necessary to shoot him 7 times?
Fuck you. It was necessary. He was a freak, just like his fucking brother.
I think we're gonna need some more towels in room 22, sweetie.
What did Willie seem like to you?
It's like there was nothing left. Nothing left human in him at all. Just pure animal.
What did he say to you?
He said he had lots more killing to do, and that it'd take more than God to stop him from killing.
Why'd he leave you alive?
I told him I had kids and that I was a good person, and he nodded, and he turned around and he left.
You were the first to find DeHoven's body, and you were almost one of Willie's victims. Doesn't working here bother you?
Not really. I thought about quitting, and then I figured there's nothing on this job that's gonna bother me. I mean, I opened the door to clean a room, and no matter what's been done to that room, at least there's not gonna be some weird-ass dead dude on the floor. Probably.
This whole thing is motivated by the forgetting of birthdays. I bet you if you looked at it, you were going to find an angry Mrs. Detective Richards. He forgot her birthday. He can't call home. He can't talk to her. He's hysterical over this, which I would be. I wouldn't know what to do. So what does he do? He extends the chase.
I understand you've signed a book contract.
As a matter of fact, I have. And I'm not gonna treat these goddamn psychos like a bunch of Hollywood gods either. I'm gonna expose them for the sickhead cases that they are.
The media is saturated with serial killer stories. Don't you think it's a dead genre?
Let me tell you something. People never get sick of anything if it's done right, especially if it has to do with killing people. I got offers coming out my asshole. Everybody wants to know what I think. And I tell you what I think. I think people love this shit. I think people would be fucking miserable if they didn't see a little blood every day.
Surely the book's not just going to cover the Willie Dickinson investigation, is it?
Listen, that bastard will be in a lot of the books, sure. But I'm gonna cover a lot of other nutcases, too.
Hey, what are you going to call this masterpiece?
Scum of the Earth. Pretty catchy, huh? Yeah. I may even have a chapter on you guys in there.
The contract you signed was for $1.5 million. Am I right?
Now you're gonna pick this check up. Am I right?
Cut.
The suspect is down and he's shots fired. Gunfire.
Dramatic video shows what may have caused...
Nothing at all.
Hello?
Hello? What happened after you rang the doorbell?
A man's voice told me that the door was open, so I opened the door.
And it was Willie Dickinson.
Fuck yeah, Willie!
He slammed me right into one of those porch posts and I heard my back go pop. Fuck! The next thing I remember was being on my knees with all those fucking Watchtower magazines all around me with my blood on them and seeing an eyeball on the ground. My eyeball! And then that son of a bitch, that son of a bitch stepped on it. He stepped right on my fucking eyeball. My eyeball. He stepped right on my fucking eyeball. I watched the sole of his shoe come down on top of me with that eyeball. Fuck!
Glenn? Sweetie? Phone, where are you, phone?
Hello.
Hello, I'm here. Hold on a second. Hello? Hey, Tip, what's up? Yeah, no, I guess he's still in class. Yeah. Oh, yeah, everything's going all right. I don't know, but I think Glenn is planning some big surprise for my birthday. You know Glenn, he can't hide anything. Whatever he's thinking, it's right there in his dorky little face. Yeah, right, yeah. Remember that time when him and Steven went to that strip club? Yeah, right. Men are so predictable. No, I don't know what he's gonna get me. Ew, oh my God, if he proposed to me that way, oh my God, Tiffany, I just die. Oh, hey Tiff, I just woke Sugar up, so let me take her outside and I'll call you back. Cool? Okay, bye, baby. Sugar, Mommy's coming for you, sweetie. Come here, Sugar. Come here. Oh, there you are, sweetie pie. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, Mama loves you. Mama loves you. I love you so much. You're so precious. You're so precious. You're so sweet. Sweetie, Mama loves you. You Mama's baby, yeah. Okay, go outside. Go pee-pee. Go potty. Bye-bye.
Well, I figure it. Before long, you're gonna have a killer on every block. It ain't like that already.
Once I figured out that Willie was mailing people's heads to his mother because he owed her a letter, and to Willie, whoever you are, Willie, I don't know who you are, but I do know who you are because I feel you, I am you right now. But now I'm not Willie. And he was mailing letters home. That was as simple as that. So here's the first clue. And if you look at this, Willie often put stamps on people's heads and mailed them, in the mailbox on holidays associated with mothers.
Honey? I think I aced my anatomy test. Marie? Where are you?
Hi. Son of a bitch. William Dickinson, 200 Lynn Street, 180 pounds, 5'11", blonde hair, brown eyes, mailman, postman. What are the fucking odds something like this would happen? Huh? They gotta be fucking astronomical. It was at the park, remember? Oh, I know you do. You wanna hear the shit, though? I picked you, too. Hell, you practically handed me your driver's license. You were gonna be my first. Who would have thought that you were you? That you were him?
Hey, Tiffy. How you doing? No, I just got back from a little run. Oh, we're doing just fine. No, I don't know where Marie is, actually. And you know what? I got my mother on the other line on long distance, so... Yeah, I'll tell her you called. I bet you thought that I was gonna tell Tiffy about our little disagreement.
Were you in my house? What were you doing 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 in my house? Yeah!
It's open.
The law ain't never gonna catch Willie.
Why's that?
'Cause they think they're smarter than he is.
The law couldn't find their asses if they had both their hands on them.
You ever heard that Hank Jr. song, Country Boy Can't Survive?
Nope.
Down the 2 and 4 and 5 said a country boy can't survive.
Well, that's Willie. That's Willie right there, a country boy survivor.
Stone cold survivor.
Idiots.
Ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la la. I have no life, so I'll take yours. Sorry, I'm just a little bored. I had no love at home. Mother was always stoned. Father never kind to me. But this will be a lot of fun. Maybe a buck knife on your throat. Don't worry, that was just a joke. I saw it on the tube. Some boys are so confused, but we'll discuss it after tea. Oh, this will be a lot of fun. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Ooh la la la. Henry Lee Lucas, son of Sam. Charles Whitman, now there was a man. Too bad that all our heroes ended as social zeros, but they sure loved a killing spree. Oh, this will be a lot of fun. That look of horror on your face could not be deemed as commonplace. The terror in your eyes, the way that you despise, cuts to the very heart of me. Oh, this will be a lot of fun. Ooh la la la,
And Willie, if you're listening to this, I really would just like to say that I think I understand your pain. I understand what you're going through. There's a lot of prejudice against serial killers. A lot of prejudice. They don't mean to be serial killers. In fact, Willie, I think if you're listening to this, Willie, I think it's possible you don't even know you killed anybody. They black out. They don't know what they're doing. You know, fuck it. Excuse me. Willie, write me sometime.